Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'm Betty Schoen. I'm a transition specialist with Vocational Rehabilitation. I've been with DES for 34 years and with Vocational Rehabilitation for 21 years. And I love working with our high school population, which I've been doing for 20 years. So my partner, Lina, will be starting us out. So Lina, take it away.
Hi, okay. I am Lina Jones. I'm the spinal cord injury specialist. I am one of the VR counselors in the neuro rehabilitation comprehensive unit. So I will go ahead and get started on the presentation. Okay, so when we're going to talk about objectives, and our first objective will be to gain an understanding of the vocational rehabilitation program, the referral process, and the eligibility criteria. Second, gain an understanding of the specialized services the VR program offers for individuals with spinal cord injury under the Neuro Rehab Comprehensive Unit. And third, will be gain an understanding of how VR collaborates with Arizona high schools to provide technical assistance for IEP, transition planning, and the services available to youth. Introduction to Rehabilitation Services, Administration, and Vocational Rehabilitation. First, state workers, government, we love anagrams. So I will start by explaining Rehabilitation Service Administration is referred to RSA. It is the part of the Department of Economic Security. RSA administered several programs to assist individuals with disabilities. One of these programs is Vocational Rehabilitation, also referred to as VR. And let me move the screen so I can see. What is vocational rehabilitation? And it is an employment program for individuals with a documented disability whose disability creates barrier to employment, who need VR services to prepare for, entering into, obtaining, and maintaining competitive employment. Ages 14 and up can be in our program. The referral to VR may come from an outside agency, other professionals, and even self-referral. Order of selection. Currently, VR has no wait lists, but when it does, it's broken down by priority 1, which is individuals with the most significant disabilities that seriously limit 3 or more major life areas and who require multiple VR services over extended period. Priority 2, individuals with significant disabilities that seriously limit 1 or more major life areas and who require multiple VR services over extended period. And priority 3, which is eligible individuals without serious limitations in 1 or more major life areas and who do not require multiple VR services over extended period. I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and add something here. So for those of us who work in the neuro comprehensive unit, neuro rehab unit, all of our clients, all of my clients in my caseload are priority 1. Now, right now, that's not really a big deal because, like I said, there's no wait list. But when there is, our clients are always priority 1.
Okay.
VR program services are based on disability related. VR provides a variety of services: vocational guidance and counseling, adjustment to disability, information and referral to other community services, rehabilitation assistive technology services and devices, independent living skills development, educational support, pre-employment transition services, job development and placement, job training, and neurorehabilitation.
And those are just examples of some of the kinds of services that vocational rehabilitation provides. We have tons of stuff that we can provide. This gives you an example.
Correct. Okay, how does VR help you find and keep a job? It guides you in selecting a job goal. It helps you identify the skills you have or need in order to achieve your job goal, provides services to help you get and keep a job, supports and guides you during the VR process, considers you an equal partner in all decisions.
those are important aspects of looking for work is having that support to help you learn the skills that you need for job seeking, as well as those soft skills you need for job keeping.
Yeah, and I will say, especially that's important to keep in mind, especially for those who are new to their injury, because obviously once an injury is acquired, that changes your skills and your ability to do certain things and how you're going to go about to do certain things. So that is very important to keep in mind. Okay, you will participate in services to address challenges caused by your disability and prepare for work. Preparing for work is not easy. VR is here to help and guide you, but there will be things that you will be responsible for doing yourself. Commitment and active participation throughout your plan is required. With appointments, keeping appointments is important. Contact VR if you cannot keep an appointment. Communication, contact your VR counselor at least once a month, more often if needed. Employment, work is the focus for applying to VR program. Tell your VR counselor when you are ready to start looking for work or when you obtain a job. So for those who are in the comprehensive program that I work with, we have monthly staffings with your entire team. And your team includes, it's part of the neuro rehab team that you have, which will consist of the neuropsychologist, vocational specialists, speech specialists, OT, PT, all of us get together once a month with the client there. And actually, it will be the individual, the person who's receiving services, who reports on what they have.
So communication is really important for VR. And if we try to get in touch with a client and the client ignores us, we really try to get in touch with that client a few more times. But if we don't get response, that case can be closed. If you want to receive services, you have to fulfill that expectation that you're going to be that active participant in your case. Because it's like I tell the students that I serve that it's like going on a trip together where the client is in the driver's seat and the VR counselor is the navigator. But if the client isn't driving, we're not going anywhere.
Neurocomprehensive unit is a specialized unit that works with individuals that have traumatic brain injury and spinal cord injury. VR counselors work together with the individual and neuro rehab teams. Neuro rehab teams consist of neuropsychologists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, vocational specialists, and social worker. Individuals choose the neuro rehab team they will work with through informed choice. So a little bit about that, we do work with different vendors, and right up until when we have the orientation and I do the intake, one of the things that the client leaves knowing that they will have to choose a vendor that they will be working with. And I provide the information so they can go visit the establishment, they can call them, they can look at their webpage, and it is the client who chooses who they will be working with. And there is our contact information. That is my supervisor, Margaret Sanchez, and myself, should anyone need to get a hold of us. And I don't know if anyone has any questions before I pass it off to Betty.
I don't see anything in the chat. Okay, so we'll move on with how VR works with youth, my favorite topic. So these are some of the things that we are mandated to do by the federal government. We have to collaborate with high schools and with high school youth to help them plan their career goals. We do outreach activities. We might do presentations to the students, to the families, to the staff about VR. And we'll talk about VR in general, what kind of program it is, how to refer a student, when to refer a student, and to whom to refer a student. We'll provide hard copy materials to high schools so they can share that information with students and parents at IEP meetings. We do all kinds of different activities. So if the school has a parent night at the beginning of the school year, VR staff are always delighted to go and be available to talk to families. If they have transition fairs, we're also willing to go and have a table where we can talk to families about VR services and what kinds of things we can provide. So outreach is very important to us. We also provide consultation and technical assistance for the IEP transition plan. And that is at no charge, and the student does not have to be a VR client for us to participate in their IEP. And our goal is to help that student identify any other potential community services that might help them as they move through high school and participate in work exploration and just learning about work and learning about all the things that they need to know to be an effective employee, as well as an employee that can keep a job. So perhaps it's suggesting job shadow opportunities or folks that a student might be able to do informational interviews with. Maybe it's discussing labor market research and how important that is as part of that career exploration process. So consultation and technical assistance for that transition planning is really a critical service for us to provide to those high school students that can really help get them started on the right path towards finding a career pathway that fits their strengths, their interests, their needs. We also provide coordination of services. So an individual might be involved with other departments like the Developmental Disabilities Division, or perhaps they receive behavioral health services through Access, or maybe they get some other type of service through some other program. We can help coordinate those services so that no one is duplicating services and the school is not duplicating any services provided by any of those entities with whom that student might be working. We develop an individualized plan for employment prior to that student leaving high school. In fact, our policy says that we have 90 days to develop a plan for employment after the student achieves eligible status. So that makes it a really short leash for helping that student with career exploration, especially if the student is clueless. So for high school students, we pretty much plan on changing their career goals maybe several times between the time they come into VR and the time they graduate high school and get ready to start down that pathway of preparation for their next step in life. But we need to have that plan in place within 90 days, and especially, before that student exits high school. And then pre-employment transition services, that's a great service under the Workforce Innovations and Opportunities Act. And this service is available to students in an educational program. Students can be a high school student, a charter school student, a private school student, a GED student, a college student, a vocational program student. There's any number of definitions for students, and they need to be between the ages of 14 and 22 with a disability. They do not have to be VR clients. They can receive this service from VR. We pay for the service, and they would be able to participate in general group-based workshops in 5 topic areas. And those topic areas include job exploration counseling, work-based learning experiences, work readiness skills development, self-advocacy skills development, and counseling on post-secondary education and training. So as I said, those are supposed to be general, I call them toe in the water type services, but if they need more, they can apply for VR services and be provided a fuller array of services that would be a lot more in-depth and comprehensive. So those are the ways that we work with high school youth. And let's see, referring a student to VR. Well, a student can be referred to us at any point in their school experience when they're ready to address their career goals and they're at least 14 years old. So if you have a 14-year-old 8th grader who is itching to start career exploration and start thinking about what they want to do when they get out of high school, that 14-year-old 8th grader can be referred to VR because we start serving at 14, regardless of what grade that youth is in. The youth has to be willing to work with that counselor and utilize the services that we provide to help them identify career interests as well as their functional limitations. So if the student wants to work with VR, it involves working with VR because we're going to be having them do those exploration activities to give them that exposure to work and help them experience as many aspects of working as possible so that they can accrue enough information about their stated career goal that they can make a decision, is this a good fit for me? So the career exploration activities are really a huge part of what youth do in high school. And there's a lot to career exploration, but they may participate in other activities as well. So perhaps they really don't get their disability and they're just having a difficult time understanding how it might impact them. And they're kind of fighting against that thought that they even have something quote unquote wrong with them. Perhaps adjustment to disability would be something that would help them come to terms with the way that they function and move forward with being able to have a good lifestyle and be comfortable with who they are, and be able to then get over their humps and move on with just enjoying their life and being as functional a person as they can possibly be. VR has transitioned from school to work programs with 32 school districts in the state of Arizona. And those transitions from school to program are programs where the student receives enhanced transition services during the school day from school employees who are under the contract that we have with the school. So these students can get a lot of activities during their school day as um, part of their curriculum, and it can include work-based learning experiences. It will definitely include um, all of those career exploration activities. It may be tours off campus to different businesses or to different schools to learn about those things. So transition from school to work programs are really a wonderful asset for a student who happens to be part of a district that has one of those programs. There we go. So we do have specialty programs and services. If an individual has a sensory disability, whether it's blindness or hearing loss, we have counselors who have an expertise in working with those individuals. And many times the counselors are themselves either an individual with blindness or an individual with hearing loss. So they not just know the disability, they live the disability, and they are experts on that particular disability. We work with the mental health services through Access, and those individuals who have a mental health diagnosis can receive services from a specialist who exclusively serves people with mental health diagnoses and who are assigned to the different clinics, mental health clinics within the Access program in their county. And then of course we have Lina and the rest of her team who serve individuals with spinal cord injuries and traumatic brain injuries. So those are all specialized services, and an individual doesn't necessarily have to go with a person with a specialty caseload, but if that's their main diagnosis, it's really beneficial to do so, because those individuals are the most well informed on those services and the nuances related to that disability that would mean that they may need some of those really specific services. So youth who have any of those diagnoses may be referred to a specialty counselor. And it's really important that we address that sensory disability or the mental health diagnosis or the spinal cord or TBI, because we want to make sure that that students' needs are being met with regards to those disabilities, as well as the things that they may need as a student. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so other programs and community-based services. Let me move this out of the way because I can't read it. There's lots of things out there in the community that can help youth. And VR counselors can be a conduit to that information and should be providing youth with information about these different community services that youth can participate with to help them with all kinds of different employment-based needs. Arizona at Work is all over the state, and it is the employment service for what I call the average Joe job seeker. Arizona at Work has youth programs and funding for our youth that are referred to as opportunity youth, which are youth who are not in school and they're also not working. So those individuals can access those Arizona at Work services to help them with their employment needs. And maybe they access that program and vocational rehabilitation. We work together with these partners. Goodwill is another great resource, and they have career centers. I went to a Goodwill Career Center to do my latest resume, and they were wonderful. Arizona at Work can do that too, but I used Goodwill Career Centers. The Phoenix Public Library System has a wonderful workforce development program, and they provide a lot of virtual workshops on job-seeking topics, and they've also hosted various career fairs and job-seeking activities. Had employers there. They've done re-entry career fairs for individuals with criminal records. So the Phoenix Public Library System has a lot of different employment services that anyone can access. So we like to make sure that folks know about those other services that are available at no cost. We collaborate. So if an individual, like I said, I think it receives the Division of Developmental Disability Services and is also LTEX eligible, we're going to reach out to that youth support coordinator through the Division of Developmental Disabilities so that they can refer the youth to us with their information that we might need to help us with planning, and we can collaborate on service provision. So we're not doing things twice. We can share in the provision of services for that youth according to what each of our programs does best. I mentioned the Transition to Employment program that the Division of Developmental Disabilities has for youth that are at least 16. And that's a great curriculum-based program that helps these youth academically prepare for job readiness, because it's a, as I said, a curriculum-based program. So they're going to be in a classroom with other youth with developmental disabilities, and they'll go through a series of lessons. I believe there's 17 of them. We also want to consider the transition services that a student might receive from their high school, because we wouldn't want to duplicate those services. If it's something that the school provides to all of their IEP students, then we will allow the school to provide that, and we'll look for gaps in services where we might be able to fill in. So once an individual achieves their employment goal, is successfully and stably employed for at least 90 days, we're going to close their case. But that's not all there is, because if an individual is within 1 year of successful closure of their VR case, and they develop a need for something that will help them maintain employment, or they've lost their employment and they need VR's services to help them regain employment, or maybe they've really mastered that particular occupation and they want to advance in employment, but they need our help, they can come back to us. If they've been closed for more than a year, then we reopen a case, a new case for them. Maybe they have a new disability or a new factor that's making it difficult for them to maintain the job that they've had. Or maybe they want to pursue a new goal. We can help an individual as long as their disability creates barriers and they need our help to prepare for, get, or keep employment. So just a few reminders. We do provide employment services for individuals with disabilities that prepare barriers to free caring for, getting or keeping employment. We are available at any point in that individual's working life after the age of 14 or at the age of 14 and after. So if you're 75 and you want to work, but your disability stands in your way and you need some help getting there, you can come to VR and we can help you get a job that fits your needs and your interests for however many hours a week you want to work. Maybe you only want to work 5 hours a week, and that's kind of the max that you have the energy for. We can help with that. So our services are based on the disability related needs of the individual. There's lots and lots of stuff we provide, and just because your neighbor is in VR and they're getting XYZ doesn't mean that you're going to get XYZ. It's based on disability related needs and what the individual needs to reach their employment goals. And then we have VR offices all over the state, and 6 of our Native American tribes in Arizona have vocational rehabilitation agencies as well. So it gives you a website there where you can find more information. And then I think there's some contact information there. Yes. So this is the state transition team and our contacts. And I serve 9 counties that include Maricopa, most things that are north of us, and out west, Mojave, La Paz, and out east, Gila, and Apache. So that is our presentation. Are there any questions? I don't think so.
No questions. Hi, Annette. Glad you made it.
So I hope that was useful and informative for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, very informative.
Good.
I have a question. Is VR only for people that want to go back to work, or is there other programs, because I got here late, that VR will help with?
VR is an employment service. So if you want to go back to work and your disability is creating barriers to employment, and the barrier may be that you lack preparation for work. You don't have the education that you need to enter the career goal that you desire. That education or training can be a service that we can provide.
Okay, thank you.
Is that answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And I have their contact info, Annette. I can send it to you too. And we're recording.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That way you'll get all of their contact info.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry if I may have missed this, but what is the the Social Security threshold for the amount of work that you can do without benefits being affected?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of that really depends per person and what benefits they're receiving, because everyone is so different, and also depending on, whether they're single or they have a family, that attributes. Their age is another contribution. Also, if they've worked in the past and now they're receiving something from their previous employer in place, that will affect that as well. So really, it depends on the person and on the situation, which is why we have people in place that can help them. DB 101 is a really great resource. You can get online and you can literally put in numbers in there, and it'll like calculate for you, and it'll give you all that information. And I would be happy to send that DB 101 info to you, Sharon, and Karen. I'm happy to send it your way.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I have like this made up email that I provide to all my clients so that they can have it all right there and they can just go in there and take a look.
Because I know that is the biggest barrier that people
of
don't want to
course.
go to back
Of
to work
course.
is
Yeah.
you know, on losing their benefits on
Absolutely.
SSDI or SSI. So,
Yeah.
and that's what we get as far as feedback is like, I don't want to enter, you know, this program just because I don't want to lose my benefits
Mhm.
that I'm already having. So, and
Yeah.
it's hard, you know, it's such a hard
It's
balance.
scary.
And, you know, I just did a study yesterday on this particular topic, and it's just including mothers with, you know, disabilities and how that's, you know, juggling. That is a full-time job. And then on top of another job. So that, you know, Social Security taking that into consideration as well. But yeah, that's the feedback that, you know, obviously from the study is everyone is concerned about their benefits being lost because of
Yeah.
you know, so they don't seek work just for that, but they want to contribute to society, but they don't want to
Sure.
lose their benefits at the same time.
Yeah, so I will tell you that as far as medical benefits, there's what they call the freedom to work. So
Yeah.
they're able to go back to work and keep all of their medical benefits.
Yeah.
So I know there's that. But then the
Yeah.
other benefits that you're referring to, like I said, that's something that they can sit down with someone who can help them. And even right where you guys are at, ability, see, they have people that will help them with that too by appointment.
Right.
I think, I don't know what they're currently doing because of COVID, but
Right.
they'll sit down with them and really take a look at it. And I have some clients that they've been able to work, like, as long as they don't go over certain many hours, depending obviously what the wage is,
Right.
but say like
Yeah.
a minimum wage job, like they can work 20 of those hours and it won't affect it won't even touch their benefits. And they're
Yeah.
able to go home with what they pay and their benefits. And then I
Right.
have some who, as long as they keep their medical benefits, they're happy because they can make
Right.
a lot more than they were being given. And then,
Sure.
you know, and I have some that are consider like even 5 hours a week, you know, and that's what they do, and they can still keep their benefits if that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, we have people in place to help them with that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ryan, did you have any questions? I know he's on his way home. I don't know if he's got any questions or not.
No, I'm in the back of a van right now, so I'll call Lina.
Okay,
I'll call
Ryan.
Lina later.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Yes.
So, so what if you wanted to start like a small business out of your home? How would that?
That is service week. Yes, we do help people with
What was that?
self-employment.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
That's
See,
a good thing that I asked then.
Yeah, because
Yes,
I
it
didn't
is.
know that either.
Yes, it is. And we help you prepare for self-employment. So if you need to learn how to do your books, we can provide that education for you to learn how to manage your business, how to do all the financial stuff. We can help you prepare a business plan. So that, because that's a requirement, you have to be able to present a business plan to our self-employment committee. Those are all things that we help individuals with who wish to be self-employed.
Now with the neurocomp team, that what we do is everyone who we get, they always work our program first. So that means establishing those skills, which usually means getting a job first and showing that they can keep a job and that they can do this, even if the job is from home, if that's the goal. And then later on, after they have those skills in place and they can show that, yes, they can manage their own finances and while working, then we can look into that program. Now isn't there a specific group, Betty, that works with that for those who have want to do their own business? Isn't that correct?
we have a self-employment committee, and those are the individuals within vocational rehabilitation who will make the decisions on the business plan. So the individual who wants to become self-employed will have to go through all the preparation parts to become self-employed. And they have to then, when they've got their plan together and they've got their preparation ready, they have to present their plan to that self-employment committee, and it has to be approved by the self-employment committee before we fund the self-employment plan. So there's a lot of steps, but we have help all along the way for the individual to make sure that they can be successful.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. My husband started his own business, but he had been doing it for a while before. So that's cool.
Okay.
Brian gave a big thumbs up.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Brian, drop the B.
Yeah, Brian, he'll answer to anything. Well, cool. Well, thank you, ladies. If nobody else has any more questions, or if you even want to just sit and chit chat, I'm going to stop the recording.